coming to the last little section of this, and it is actually a very, very important point. We've clearly understood, we've talked about how this isn't a once-a-year operation. We're talking about some big 365 plus the 36 hours operation to identify trends, to get the requirements gathered together, to manufacture. We're talking manufacturing space now because that's the whole point of the International Santa Station. We've talked about the fantastic delivery mechanisms whereby Sarah and her particular propulsion system can deliver individual presents to individual children's houses. We've covered the great subject of feeding in space, and Stuart very eloquently described how he'd go about do that. But we're living in a digital era where marketing, where information is king, whether it's TikTok, LinkedIn, Facebook, other platforms are available. How best, Ria, should Father Christmas go about making sure he's got a handle on the marketing problem?
Well, thank you for the question. I think because we have shorter and shorter attention spans, he should make very short TikTok videos or any kind of videos, but very short ones, like half a minute to a minute. And it would be cool if he included some astronauts in his videos. Some of these influencers get celebrities to participate in their videos. So just like that, Santa could involve some astronauts or some CEOs of rocket companies, or some cool stuff. And I think that would definitely get people's attention, especially kids' attention. But I want to go back to something that you said earlier. We said that there are millions of elves and everyone on this working with Santa. And to use my marketing abilities here, I want to say, if there are any women among these millions of elves and maybe a Mrs. Claus who are bored or they have issues, I'm running a program called the Apogee Circle, and they're very welcome to join. They're for women or those who identify with women's experiences in STEM. And Santa's in STEM now, and so are the elves and Mrs. Claus. So they can look it up on LinkedIn and join me for a conversation, monthly conversation. And then maybe I could give some marketing tips as well.
Well, I love the way you proudly, not shamelessly, but proudly promote that particular item.
I'm very proud of this.
And in the best traditions of all the wording in it, we'll put a link to the conversation below, or something very similar to that. I mean, it's very interesting. You picked up on the note of Mrs. Claus. She is obviously one of the most symbolic women at Christmas, apart from whatever your particular faith is, etc. But she is probably the powerhouse behind it, and it takes me back to my earlier thoughts when we put together Lift Off Sarah. Remember that podcast where you gallantly took part? We actually had over 23 guests, well over half of them were women, covering all aspects from legal to CEOs of companies to marketing, to the whole gamut. And it just really reinforced in my mind that we're talking today about the big ho-ho and the big man himself, but behind this, there is such a strong influence of women in all aspects of the space technologies sector. And I would like to raise my barrow, which you can see, to celebrate.